as our greenway is taking shape right before our eyes. Currently, this main artery is a collection of small businesses and public agencies, schools, a couple of health facilities, etc. Well, that's changing with projects like Metro's Rail to Rail, which is going to transform these rail lines out of service for 40 years into beautiful walking and bike paths in its space, right here on Slauson. Yeah. Well, that's changing. As I said, years from now, we're going to be able to enjoy the beauty of a more welcoming Slauson with shade trees and lush vegetation. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
All right. But our plans for this famous corridor go beyond just landscaping, walking paths and bike paths. CD9 is complementing the Rail to River with 3 neighborhood parks in different stages of development right here along Slauson. We've got the Slauson Recreation Center at Slauson between Normandy and Buttlong. This educational center is going to provide youth with opportunities in digital media, broadcasting, game design. It's going to be a state-of-the-art community hub. It's going to feature a green studio, multi-purpose editing, gaming, a daycare center, after-school programs, etc.
Nice.
The Bill Green Memorial Park on Slauson and Figueroa. Are you with me? Slauson and Figueroa. That's a vacant DWP site that's been vacant for about 40 years. You'll be hearing a little bit more of that. But we're going to create there the Bill Green Memorial Park. And again, it's in conjunction with the LA DWP. You'll be hearing more about it. It's going to have an outdoor amphitheater and an outdoor fitness area. And so again, we're really excited about that. But wait, there's more. We've got Slauson and Wall. That's an exciting project. That's a whole redevelopment site. The whole block is going to be redeveloped. But as a requirement in that redevelopment, there's going to be a 4-acre park right here on Slauson at Wall. And so again, we're excited about these opportunities. But these park development plans, again, are going to help expand opportunities and the footprint for healthy living. In addition to the greenway along Slauson, we also have a greenway extension along Avalon, because there on Avalon and Slauson, we link 3 existing parks. The LA Wetlands Park. How many have been to the Wetlands Park? Right down the street, Avalon and Slauson. The South Park Rec Center. How many of you all been to South Park? That's our biggest park in South LA. We spent about $100 million renovating that park, so you make sure you go by there. And the Gil Lindsay Recreational Center. Again, all on Avalon, all a part of our Greenway network. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
To be able to, yeah. You know, and we talk about the parks on Avalon. You know, we have ball fields, we have soccer fields, we have basketball courts, we have a pool, we have a skateboard facility. So again, this is a real opportunity to take advantage. These, again, are community jewels. And then right here at the Augustus Hawkings Nature Center, the only designated nature park in South LA or LA? South LA. The only nature park in South LA. And it's going to serve as the anchor of our greenway. This is an 8.5 acre state-of-the-art nature park. It was formerly a cement yard. Anybody remember those days? Back in the year, it was created back in 2000. But you see how it's been transformed over the years. Again, and for years, the community's been able to enjoy the Discovery Center, which features handicraft, historical craftsmanship surrounded by plantings that were originally donated by the San Marino Huntington Library of Botanical Gardens. In fact, the full-size oak trees and sycamore trees here were transplanted from Ramona, California. Again, this is truly a unique gem that is a highly treasured resource here in South LA. In the near future, we're going to be cutting the ribbon cutting on the Garden Studios project. It's going to transform a former maintenance yard right around the corner here into a solar-powered modular classroom for indoor and outdoor learning. Yeah, give it up. So South LA is going to be filled with open and green spaces for neighbors to learn, to grow, and to be healthier. And this shift is going to benefit who? It's going to benefit us all, but it's going to especially benefit our kids. It's going to benefit our children, right? Those who are growing up and kicking the balls now. So again, I'm proud to say that this Greenways initiative is in sync with our mayor's commitment to creating a more sustainable Los Angeles, and it's a commitment I know that we all share. Together, these efforts are not about just adding more trees or reducing street traffic and air pollution and fighting climate change, but it's also offering safe spaces for social interaction and outdoor activities. All these additions are not only visually appealing, but surely will contribute to increasing property values in the area, right? So there's a method to the madness. So today is a new day in South LA with this Greenway, and we invite you to look around all of the depictions of the project sites that are up. We are blessed to have a variety of community-based organizations here that you'll be hearing about more, who are involved and invested in improving this climate quotient that we have in our community. But I want you to hear directly from some of our partners that are engaged in this effort. We are all in this together. But this time it's my honor and pleasure to welcome our own County Supervisor, Holly Mitchell. Holly has been serving us well in the Assembly, in the Senate, and now on the board. She, I think, has been the past chair of the board and probably will be the chair again before it's all over. The Honorable Holly Mitchell.
Good morning, New Ninth. And good morning, 2nd District. It is great to be with you on this beautiful, beautiful day as summer comes to an end. I'm proud to be with you. You know, as I listen to the councilman talk about the history of this park, that is our reality in so many of our communities across South Los Angeles. I had the pleasure of participating in the opening of a new county park, Wishing Tree Park in West Carson, just a couple months ago. It's 8.5 acres of green space, includes a play area, soccer fields, much like the vision of the corridor. I also think about Magic Johnson Park and the expansion under my predecessor, Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas, who's here, and the expansion he led in that area, looking at Ujima Village. You know, what's an interesting common thread in all of these green spaces that our elected leaders partner with our community members is we are turning around spaces that were toxic, that didn't serve us in a meaningful way, right? We are turning those spaces around into spaces we can utilize. And why is that important? You know, I have the privilege of representing all of you on the South Coast Air Quality Management District. And when we look at the air quality that we are forced to breathe, air quality next to rail, next to the ports, next to freeways, and the particulate matter that give our children asthma and give us heart disease and lung disease, we have an opportunity to improve that with trees, with open green space, by turning brownfields into space that is safe and can be used in a positive way for all of us. So that's why this is so important. The research is showing that it is hotter in South LA because we don't have the tree canopy other communities have. And as I serve on Metro with my fellow director, Jackie DuPont Walker, we are working really hard to connect our communities in meaningful ways. So the Slauson Rail to Trails allows safe, well-lit walking and biking paths. And on a side note, will you all stop honking at me when you see me ride my new bicycle on the bicycle lane? Stop honking at me. I'm trying to be out there, and you know, I like to ride in trails where there are no cars, but I'm trying to be on the streets and you all honk. Baby, is that you, Holly? Stop honking at me, Taffy. Stop honking at me. So it is a way for us to connect our communities and connect that final mile, connect us to from Metro train stations and the work we're gonna do on the Vermont corridor, the highest utilized bus line in all of Metro's service area. So these are not only gonna be pretty to look like and great for our kids, it's gonna be great for old people like me and Curran to be able to get from community to community in a safe way with beautiful tree canopy. I know you all have heard and may share some of the concerns that we have about safety on Metro. Well, let me tell you what's gonna make Metro safe. More of us riding it.
Yes.
And if we have spaces like this And these parkways that help us connect and make it easier for us to ride Metro, more of us will ride it. I'm convinced about that. So I'm really excited to partner with you. We worked hard. I was just telling the councilman, these infrastructure projects cost a bunch of money and take a long time. The Wishing Tree Park was a 30-year project. And with term limits, it was 3 supervisors before we got it done, literally. But guess who was still there, supervisor, at that opening day? Those same community residents who had the vision in the first place.
That's right.
So while we may cycle in and out of seats, the community is the community.
Yeah.
And so we need you all to stay committed, keep the vision alive, because we're doing all we can to bring it to fruition.
Thank you.
Before I close, let me say this. We hear a lot of conversation about government and how government fails and what government isn't doing. I hear it all the time. I can't take my trash cans to the curb without a neighbor telling me how I've fallen short. So when people say that to you, talk to them about coming to this event today, because this is an example of government. Government is who invests in brownfields. Brownfields are areas that were, are toxic because of corporate polluters, frankly. It's government who takes that land, seizes that land, cleans that land up, partners with community to build what we want and what we deserve. So when you think about what government is doing or not doing, remember today's experience. Remember our predecessors, myself and the councilman now, taking the baton and continuing the journey. Again, that one community in West Carson was 30 years. This was not going to take 30 years. But remember, this is what your government does on your behalf in partnership with you. Councilman, thank you for your vision and commitment. I know Senator Green and Augustus will all be very proud of the beautiful green space and community gathering spaces that you are leading to build in their name and in their honor. And it's a pleasure to partner with you. It's great to see you all at South LA. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor, for those inspiring remarks, and we're glad that you're here with us and have been with us. We have lots of friends and neighbors here. Let me just acknowledge Tony Buderich, Tony from the LA Parks Foundation. Give it up for Tony. And I apologize for butchering your last name, Tony, but I love you. Okay. Okay, next up, we have the person responsible for managing our parks and our recreational facilities, making things happen. The general manager, Jimmy